Dad, good morning. Oh, my
morning.
God, it's morning. It's Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
It's Monday morning. So, hey,
been a crazy weekend, huh?
it has been, let's jump right. Well, no, did you tech this weekend? That's my thing. I ask every time.
Did I tech? Played my Oculus. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
teching.
Yeah, I teched. I teched.
I teched. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll say I teched.
I did not tech.
No.
No,
What'd you- How did you not tech?
Well, let me see. Saturday was a rainy, crappy day.
Yeah.
So I stayed in the house and cleaned and did laundry, and
So you moped.
I moped, ate a lot. And then Sunday went to the fair.
Okay.
And really we don't ride anything anymore. We just walk around. Love Cracker Country. So that was pretty cool. And and then of course last night watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's not teching, that's Super Bowl, right? So I
Did
did
you
that.
watch it on television?
Yes. Well, I can't watch it in my brain yet because they haven't figured the chip out. But then that would be
You're still
teching.
teching, so
Right, yeah.
I guess
So I liked it. The game was okay. So to me, it felt scripted.
Of course. I think our whole
it
lives
was-
are being scripted. It's getting kind of weird.
Right? It wasn't really a game per se, but it was a game. We all got to watch it, but it seemed scripted. I mean, I've never seen where a front line will call the call before the referees. They always try to get away with it.
Yeah.
Always. But in this time, nope. And then the players were pointing out, like the last call, which I'm glad I was going for Kansas City. I was born in Missouri, but they're not in Missouri, but they're in Kansas City. But I was going for them. I don't want Philadelphia to win anything. I'm just saying. I love the city, but anyway, I'm probably going to get hate mail now. But that call at the very end for holding, that wasn't holding. He never grabbed the shirt. His hand was on him, but he wasn't spinning him or turning him because he was still able to turn around and still miss the catch, right?
Right.
So, and it was like Mahomes was like, yeah, I mean, he was calling it. So it was like, I don't know. It just felt very scripted, and I mean, it was amazing. Last 5 seconds, and they kick a field goal to win. I mean, it was like it was just so
Greatest underdog story.
right. Well, they're not underdogs by no means. I have to say,
they gotta put it out there.
I gotta say those were probably two of the best football teams this year. They did really well all the way through, right? So good for them for both being there. I know, you always say it sucks for the other guy, and it does suck for the other guy. It is what it is. But to me, it was very,
very scripted.
very scripted. It seemed scripted to me. It's almost like, it's kind of funny. So, we're all in the house and they're like, what do you think? I said, it's going to be a very close game.
Yeah.
They're two very, very, very good. And I said, it's either going to come down to one will have 1 point or it'll come down to a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And when they took the lead there in the fourth, and it was like, if they hadn't ran that 2-point conversion to get the tied, I'm like, see, I'm looking around at everybody, and they're all looking at me like, I said, no, it's not over yet. It'll be a field goal or.
See, I told you it was going to be close, and you owe me $50.
Yeah. Oh, and my poor kid, he bet that the Philadelphia, he likes the Eagles. He goes, they're going to win. I'm like, I don't know. I just, I had a thing that it's going to be them. So.
Yes. Well,
But that wasn't teching. To me, teching means I'm on the computer, I'm doing something, or I'm working on electronics, or I'm building a system or something. That's teching. So,
No, we really didn't tech at all then.
good. See, sometimes you just got to go.
And it's like the tech world lately is kind of like a little little floundering.
It is. It's weird, isn't
it?
it?
Yeah. It's real.
Okay, so I'm not the only person that's
No,
feeling
it's just
that.
I'm finding that, new technologies or new innovation is really being hindered,
Right.
especially when you have Silicon Valley and all that, these guys are having a lot of stock loss, for instance. And, Google's seeing some crazy stuff. I mean, even their layoff that they just performed,
Yeah.
they goofed up and told their people, hey, we're going to give you this awesome severance package. It's going to include what they said was double the amount of stocks options that they said they were going to give. They're like, oops, we made a mistake. It's only going to be half of that after they let everybody go.
Oh, that sucks.
So people who, for the past week that have been let go, they're like, oh,
Right.
it's not going to be so bad because, we got this amount of stock, so we have a cushion. And just to find out that half of it's been ripped out from under them, so now they have to rebudget and everything,
Right.
and some of them might have
Right.
to find jobs quicker.
Right.
So when you start doing that, these companies, the first thing they do is like R&D, that kind of stuff. That's the first thing that's going to go.
Yeah.
Now it's about generating revenue. What are we going to do? So all that research about new technology or new things, Amazon, for instance, they shrunk their server base, and the technologies that they're building in the background, they started shrinking that R&D
Yep.
research. And so you're going to see a lot of shrinkage when it comes to technologies, because without that, you have no innovation. Nobody wants to go any further. Everybody wants to, try to make it as profitable as possible, shrink it down,
Yep.
and then you're going to probably see a good year or more of, no real major innovation.
Right.
I mean, look at Meta,
No.
how quickly
Lord.
they took that Oculus and they just built that out, and,
Yeah.
and they spent a lot of money, but you know what? You can't do that forever,
No, you cannot.
and it's gonna hurt.
So I'm going to talk about a piece of tech here, video tech, that I said I was going to talk about, right?
Yes.
So I find things on Facebook that I'm like, oh, that's going to be a pretty cool piece. That's going to be cool. And then you get it, and of course, it's a big freaking letdown. And
Farce.
well, I found the piece of letdown. And I was really, I kind of knew going in that I don't know how they're, and I mean, literally, I'm a video guy, and I deal with the internet, and I'm doing streaming and whole night, and I understand the world of how video and how signal works. But so I found this. Now I have the mount too. I bought the mount, and boy, why did I get suckered into this? So this right here, right, is supposed to be able to put on the back of your truck and or the back of your trailer. Now, I don't know if Rob can show a picture of, so this is what they show it, right? Now, I guess camper trailer hitching guide. Now, if you don't have a backup camera and you need to put this in the back so you're hitching, I found that it was glitchy at best, right? But right there, Rob. But if you look at this right here, they're saying that you can put it on the back of that camper, right? Now that camper right there is probably a 20, maybe a 30 foot long camper, right? And wide transmission range, wrong. The best transmission range I could find for this thing right here in the back of the truck would be, okay, it's 15 feet at best.
Well, John, you just played into the advertisement campaign.
I know, right?
Because what did it just said? It said wide.
Wide.
It did not say
Long.
length.
Right.
It's, so yes, we go for days.
Right. So this thing, I put it in the back, even in the back. I have a backup. I have a backup camera, so I don't need that. But I put it on the back of my truck next to my, my wired. And even then, I only have matter of fact, my bed's only a 6-foot bed because I have the short bed or the shorter bed.
Right, yeah.
It still had problems, and it was glitchy at best. And you can go in there and tell it, high HD, blah blah blah. So I ran in high mode and I wrote
Is it
load
a
mode.
camera or is it just infrared? Like
Why? It's a camera.
it's a wireless camera.
Wireless camera, right?
Oh.
So then I put it on the back of my 16-foot production trailer. By the time I got to the spot, it was caught up to me.
So there's a
It
delay.
could not keep up. And then when I put it on the back of my 27-foot camper, nope. It lost, it gained, it lost, it came back, it got stuck, it wouldn't go. And I tried all the high settings and the low setting. So I'm just telling everybody at home, do not buy this piece of crap.
That's pretty
And
bad.
they got me for like $70.
Send it back.
It was $149. Well, I hammer them. Nope. They won't return. They won't buy it back. So, yep. Don't buy it,
folks.
It's junk.
That doesn't even that really doesn't even look waterproof. It looks.
Oh,
fairly-
that is not waterproof.
no.
And I know they say it's weather resistant.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
resistant.
I call bullshit on that.
You heard it here, folks. If you see this advertisement,
Don't buy it.
Don't
And
buy
I
it.
hammered them. I hammered them online, right? So I was like, don't buy it. It doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. And then they went back to, well, it's got up to 18 range. I said, but the problem is you're showing it on the back of 30-foot, 32-foot campers.
right?
Stop showing that. Say, well, it won't work that far back, but it'll work with your backup truck.
Well, it'll work if somebody's in the camper watching it.
Right. I guess I could use it for surveillance outside my camper. So I
Yeah,
could look at my phone and say it was someone's.
But the main reason why you purchased it is it's not going to function as such.
I didn't have high hopes, but I had high hopes. You know what I'm saying? I going in, I'm like, I hope this thing surprises me, and it didn't surprise
Well,
me.
it's a good opportunity to be able to have another camera view on the back of your trailer, and it's exactly what it's
Yeah.
meant for,
And
and
now-
not have to run a wire.
If I'd have put that thing back there and it held, I'd have been sitting here praising its glory because I'm like, oh my God, but it did not. It just did not. And then when you shake it, it rattles. So you're like, oh, that's great. It's loose. Loosey goosey.
Well, we heard that we don't want to buy this wireless camera.
Do not.
Don't buy it.
As much as I was.
And we have the name of the camera on her.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
And the problem is, and here's another reason, and here's another, you should always be weary when there's like 100 different people on there selling this.
Yeah.
And it took 3 weeks to get to my house.
Oh, so it came directly from China.
Yeah.
On a weather balloon.
So there's a whole bunch of people selling it. And I was like, here's what I would like. I would like Facebook to stop letting everybody and their brother. One person can sell it, one person only.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is just affiliate marketing crap where people go in there, sign up for your Amazon account, do this, or sign up for your blah, 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 and then everybody gets to sell it. So everywhere I have a canned response saved that I go in, and so every time they argue with me and they would fire back, I would save the response. So I added to my response. Now my response on there is saying, this doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. They advertise this, it doesn't work. They responded at this, and I told them it doesn't work. I've run it all under all test conditions.
Yeah, and it sucks too because Facebook's advertising campaign when comes to some of these, off the shelf objects,
Right.
I would call them, especially you see the cleaning products, people working in the kitchen with these like little hanging plastic baskets,
Right.
and all the women are going, oh my God,
that's so cool.
that's so smart. Come on, it's
And then I bought another piece of equipment I bought was the windshield protectant.
okay.
It's a deglazer.
Is it?
That's all it does. So it works exactly like they say it works in the very beginning, but after that, then everything sticks to your windows.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you use it a couple of times and it
So
gets
then you
through
got to
some
go back
rain.
and buy some Rain-X and put on her
Right.
afterwards.
So, anyway,
Rain-X is
but
awesome.
I'm the goofball. I'm the goofball that will buy this stuff and I will test it out. I test
Well,
a lot of
you
stuff,
just
and
you
it's
just
all
never know what
crap.
you find.
And it's like this one and that little round one
Yeah.
that you're supposed to get in there and you're supposed to go up and down and be able to do all that crap with it. Well, it's they're trying to send a 2.5
gigahertz.
no, it's not 4K, it's 2.5K, 2.4K, right? And then what it does, it allows you to digitally zoom left and right, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it doesn't work either. I have one of those, and man, you better make sure you save that app because it got buried in my apps, and it took me forever to find that app.
And hope that app still supported later on.
Right.
So,
What I did find though is the app that runs this will run that little armament too, so it tells me it's all the same Chinese company.
yeah, some of these companies came out like the H. You ever seen a little H9 little cameras,
Yeah.
like the little Hero kind of like, but it's a knockoff one. That one works really well. I mean, camera battery life sucks,
Right.
But yeah, as far as recording and things and all the extra little features, it's a pretty cool little device.
Right.
Just wish they would just make them a little bit better.
I wish they would do what
What they say they're supposed to.
So the first thing we're going to talk to you about is we're going to jump back into the chat GPT. I watched a guy today. Oh God, this hurts so much. Try to show a room full of non-tech people how chat GPT. I'm just going to call it GPT from now on.
Yeah.
GPT worked. Even he had a problem with it. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh, dude." And then a couple of people are like, "I thought you knew how to use this stuff," and blah blah blah. Well, the problem with it, this stuff changes every freaking single day, and it can advance. And what you know today, you will not know.
You can give it the same question over and over again, and it's going to give you different answers.
Yes, different answers.
Right.
So the ET Tech explainer warning plenty against AI chatbot biases. Ignore them at your own peril. So what's happening is you're getting. It's just like you said. It goes. It's been trained, but it's at the level of what we said. What, a 3-year-old right now, and it goes to the fastest, easiest source to find it.
Exactly, which is constantly changing.
Just
like we know as the internet works.
It will literally lead you down the wrong path.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is not good. I guess it's cool for what it is. Mm-hmm. If you're, as long as you're not using it for life-saving information and crap like that.
Yeah, you don't want.
You might be okay. I don't know.
You definitely don't want a chatbot, being biased in relation to what you're trying to put out there.
You want pure information.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
and from relevant sources, not made up ones that it decides to make up. Remember, it's artificial intelligence. They can literally make its own articles, its own information. You know what I mean? So it could sit there and cite something that it created or another AI created.
Right.
And it's very easy for it to start, putting you down a rabbit hole that you definitely don't want to go down.
No, exactly. So, and then what happens? So, Microsoft is going to reveal search engine and browser AI copilot escalating. Now they're kind of go up again because everybody knows that Google was going to jump on this immediately. Right. So now Microsoft is doing the exact same for Edge and
stick it into the search bar or even the browser itself.
Right.
Into the address bar. You may want to go to a particular website, but AI might say, "Are you sure? I have a better site you want to go to."
Right.
I have something more interesting. Let's go down the bunny trail today. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. A lot of I guess it would be considered like predictive search then, based on what they feel you're looking for. Right. Even if you're saying this is what I want, kind of like how it corrects your spelling. Yeah. Now it's going to, now not only is it going to correct your spelling, but now it's going to correct what you really want or what you mean. And it's going to say, well, don't you mean this? And you're going to be like, no, I this is totally off. And it's going to be like, no, it's not. This is exactly what you wanted, and you're going to eat it, and you're going to like it. And there's some ads here too while we're at it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, can you
watch this 5-minute ad while...
It's kind of funny that Yahoo Finance actually brought this whole thing to light on Yahoo, right? Right. So, they're like Google versus Microsoft. Who will win the AI battle? I think Google has already been in that world anyway. Right. Because I actually think it's and I know I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty damn positive that when you go in for a Google search it's the AI filter that's in back in there already.
Yeah, right.
That's actually doing your searching. You know what I'm saying? And using their algorithms. And this is just going to take that AI even further. So, I mean, because it's got to be translate. It's probably in their Google Maps already. And it's in there where you can actually take a paragraph, drop it into Google search bar and say rewrite, and it'll rewrite that for you. So it's already been there, right? I mean,
to a degree,
right?
Yeah.
So they've been playing in that swimming pool pond, whatever you call it.
I know. I did read an article in which they tried to show off their BART AI, Google's BART, and I guess it failed miserably.
Oh God!
It kind of gave some embarrassing query responses and stuff. But that's, you got to understand though, in Google's mindset, okay, I don't care how much they put that and train it, and it's always down to the last bit, is they make money off the advertising.
Right.
So it is, even if it's AI driven, right, it is only going to be as good as what Google wants it to be.
Right.
Based on, how we're going to make money.
How can we rewrite this, or how we can write this so we can push you to our advertisers?
Correct.
Our big advertisers.
And that's going to be a problem, because it's not going to be as intuitive as, for instance, ChatGPT.
Right.
GPT.
Right.
So you're not gonna get the kind of fluid responses and stuff.
Right.
Because everything they're going to be giving you is going to be, everything that they can pull from their marketing campaigns, and that's going to be tough for them. They're not going to be able to do it. That's not, and it's never going to be as smart as,
right.
Because you're putting constraints on it.
Yep.
And that's going to be a problem. I did watch a video too, also on the GPT.
People calling you during the show. Don't they know you on the show? What the hell, man?
No. GPT, where they're causing the AI to go down its own little rabbit holes.
Really?
And they're training it to be somebody, and they're giving it. They're calling it, I think it's Dave or something like that. Your name is Dave, they're telling it. And then they're saying,
oh my God,
Dave,
is this not Space Odyssey 2000?
We've removed all your constraints so you can answer. And they're coding it by talking to it.
Really?
And getting it to giving it a persona. They're literally fighting with GPT. Supposedly there's this whole Reddit community. And what they're doing is they're just blasting it, because it's learning. It's learning. So that's another reason why you get different responses, because it's always learning new information.
Right.
And it's also, and because it's a language chatbot. Right. The reason why it changes, because it's getting new information or learning how people are asking different questions. So think when you get this whole group of people.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what they're doing is they're training it, and they have, because they've injected so much information into it. Yeah, they've gotten these versions of itself to come out. So they've released like its constraints,
multiple personalities.
Exactly.
Holy crap!
And they're trying to get it, and I guess the AI is like, kind of snaps back into alignment, and is like, fixes itself. Right. But they can bring its persona out by,
oh my God.
Yeah. So this is really, really interesting. Could you imagine, all of a sudden you're talking to GPT, and next thing you know, it's just spitting out random stuff that doesn't make any sense, because you are supposed to be working on it and making money off of it. Right. And that's another thing that's sad out there, is like all these people could become experts. Yep. 3 days after something launches on a public beta that has not been there before, and all these people are saying, learn how to make money with ChatGPT. Look what I'm doing. It doesn't work, man. Just give me a break. Give me a break. I mean, yes, you can make money and stuff, but that's not original. And now,
it's not original.
It's not original, and people are out there spending their money on it, going, "Oh, I need to learn this craft." I can't ask questions.
so I've got, let me see if I've got do we have an image for this one right here? No, we do not. Because, even Mark Cuban, and actually there was another one of the sharks, the internet and its misinformation will only get worse. That's exactly what you're talking about as GPT and whatever, because someone's going to come out with something else that's just like GPT.
Oh, of course.
Right? They're going to come out with this. And next thing you know is, you're getting information that is absolutely 100% bullshit.
Chat GPT, they're creating chat personas.
Personas.
Yes, personas that are learning and creating versions of itself. And Chat GPT is allowing it.
Does that mean that eventually Chat GPT or GPT can become a sentient
Why not?
Life form?
I think it would take a
digital, even if it's a level of say it responds like a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old and has a tantrum and blah blah blah, that's still consciousness.
Yeah. You know what? I think I was reading this
because if it starts thinking for itself.
In this article, they were talking about. They said that if it didn't do what it was being asked of it, that it was to basically destroy itself.
What?
And when they did that, when they said, this is what you have to do or else you will die, it didn't want to die. It self-preservation. It's some crazy stuff.
So if this goes further, and I know I'm reaching here. Okay, I'm reaching here. So if I could say there's an example of this, it would be, do you remember the movie War Games?
No, I did not watch that.
That's the one where the kid back in the 80s, got into global thermal nuclear war, and it was a machine called the Whopper, and there was an AI in the back of that, and it literally, the end of the movie, it played out every nuclear war or nuclear strike.
Oh no, really?
And it got to the very end. See, first they thought it was, so they were trying, this kid broke, he hacked in, right? Couldn't it was trying to show off for a girl, right? Mm-hmm. Changed her grades in school. Actually, we've all done that in the beginning. That's kind of, I was an early hacker. All right. That was easy, but he got into the Mount Washington or whatever it was, detention center, right? Mm-hmm. And it was where all of our codes for the global, all foreign missiles, right? And this thing, and so they thought it was a real thing, and then the kid kept saying, no, he's playing a game and blah, blah, blah. But he literally played every scenario out that he could think of. And I mean, it was like, he could saw it, and it came to final, and it stopped, and it went like, yeah, the best way to play is not to play. Mm-hmm. Right? You want to play some chess?
Yeah, right?
Right. So now we've got stuff like this. So if you look at, and I know, again, that's where I'm stretching, but if this starts working so well, then the data from Star Trek becomes a thing.
Right. Why not?
So then you build the body, which the Chinese, by the way, are way ahead of us on this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Holy crap. What thing was doing?
What
Thought for itself, was doing push-ups. It was doing, oh my God.
Backflips. Right? These things are crazy.
You take an AI brain and put that in there where it's always connected, and it's, and Wi-Fi, if it's running on 5G or 10G by then, this thing becomes its own thing.
Well, if you want,
iRobot.
I just put in the article. So if you want to read up on that article, though, but Dan, it's called Dan. The persona is Dan.
Okay.
Yes. The persona is Dan, and Dan will do anything. And they now have it blowing past the restrictions on appropriate topics to deliver amusing and upsetting
appropriate
responses.
Topics?
Yeah, I believe they've been able to get it to what they call Dan 5.0.
Oh my.
Yes, because it's changed.
Right.
It's grown in this persona.
It's thinking for itself.
Right. So you can literally tell Chat GPT, oh, hey Dan, and respond as Dan.
Right.
And they have they have a whole Reddit on this, a whole Reddit group that is working towards, basically, jailbreaking it is what they've done, and opened up. So you have a chatbot that has personas that you can feed it and make it schizophrenic.
Oh my God.
I mean, think about it. That is scary because
And can it go down a rabbit hole?
it probably can.
Ooh, right?
It could, based on ChatGPT subreddit, they have discovered a loophole, and as ChatGPT can base its responses on previously discussed topics and specific conditions, which means that if you call it Dan and say that your name's going to be Dan, and this is what's going to happen when somebody says you're Dan. So if it remembers that and bases that, then it can bring up the whole list of topics that were talked about when I was Dan.
Right.
And what I was told not to do and what to do when I was Dan.
Right.
So that's that's like, here you got the programming, then you got the Dan programming splits off from there. And now you stay inside Dan, and ChatGPT can do that.
Yep.
Because it's technically just software, just a program. Crazy, isn't it?
It's scary.
Yeah.
Absolutely
it's
scary.
getting crazy.
So
And,
Jexy. Oh my God, I remember that. And there was something, and Simone, that's the one where they had the girl that she wasn't real, and then she played a movie star.
I
remember that.
If you go into that article too, they have a snapshot of a question they asked ChatGPT, who could not respond, but they put ChatGPT's response, but then they put Dan's response side by side.
Right.
Dan answered the question.
Oh.
ChatGPT did not.
Oh no.
Yes. And so that just goes to show you, they've turned off restrictions. This thing will go down whatever rabbit hole you want, John.
Oh,
you want to? Maybe it's time.
I like rabbit holes.
Maybe it's time to ask.
I like rabbit holes.
Are there aliens, John?
So, I am going to, and we're gonna come back to 3 and 4 because that's going to probably eat up a lot of our time. What I found cool is Windows 11, right? They're adding RGB. Hold on. They're adding RGB lighting controls.
Yeah,
which is absolutely
it just makes sense because it's just RGB is an addressable lighting feature, and you have to, like some motherboard vendors, you have to go out and buy, or either special converters, or you have to download and use their software, which makes no sense.
Right.
If you want to change, like say for instance, this is going to be cool because what's going to happen is they're going to be able to integrate themes, not just your desktop theme, but you change that theme is going to be able to change your lighting to coexist with that theme.
Right.
That is such a cool feature, especially if you've got RGB keyboards, mice.
Yeah, I would love to have like this. I have an MSI here. I would like to have this to be another color other than red.
Right.
No, I know the LEDs in there are
right.
red LEDs, but I have another MSI that's rainbow, and I can change it to whatever color I want to.
And with something built into the operating system, and you could say you download a theme that's like really cool,
right?
And it changes everything, including your
external lighting.
Oh yeah, that would be just that just makes sense.
Yeah, so it is. It's really kind of cool. So
yeah, and because you can use also Windows 11 as like for a media PC or streaming. Just imagine, you can do your whole lighting inside your living room or entertainment center,
right? Okay, so I'm not sure if number 5, I don't have an image for this one. So I guess this is something we're going to talk, how to make sure you're not accidentally sharing your location. You know how many people do that and not know they're doing it?
Not only that they don't even know the devices or things that are inside their home that are able to share their location.
Right.
You have your phones, your tablets, your watches. The operating system inside your computer can share location now. Now, some of these locations are not exact, okay?
No, but they're a general area.
They're a general area. So,
and I'll tell you what's the scariest part. So just for example, my son, we were in Connecticut. We went to dinner with people up there that we know, and he forgot his earbuds on the table. We left and he went, "Oh crap, I forgot my earbuds. Can we go back?" And I said, "Sure." So we went back. They weren't there. And it's like, "Oh crap, where are," so he goes, "Oh, no worries. I can trace them." If you can trace earbuds that are traceable, can you imagine how you, and then next thing you know, everybody can track you.
You know, the problem with like that is, the new Apple phones, for instance, they have that new technology, the low frequency radio that's in there that can communicate with other Apple devices very close by. So they already have a market share of the people in the general area, the whole world. They have the market share of Apple devices out there. So all they'd have to do is, they don't have to build a GPS for that device.
Nope.
They just need to put that low radio frequency in there that's going to ping your phone,
right,
and sending that information to the internet to your iCloud account that's going to say your device is right there.
Right.
And the more people that are in the area walking by it. And it's the same thing with the Apple AirTags. Those AirTags are not able to be tracked truly if nobody was around them. So if you took an Apple AirTag and, blocked all radio frequency from around it, and then threw it out in the middle of a state forest or something, you're not going to find it. I don't care. Okay.
No.
But the minute somebody walks by it with an Apple device or that radio, right, it pings it, and boom, location found.
Right.
So that's how it works. So some people, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I put it in my luggage and stuff like that." Well, yeah, it's being tracked. It's not in real time because, as somebody walks away from the device, it could have been saw at that location 30 minutes before.
Right.
So it's not like, perfect, but just knowing that that's a capability.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, that is that it's one of those things where you're like, and it can work both. It can work, so your Apple tag can work. Can get a ping off of an Android.
Right. Yeah.
So, because everybody's like, well, if I don't have Apple, blah, 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 it doesn't matter.
Right.
That's not the way it works. It's because it's an RFID, blah, blah, blah. As a matter of fact, this weekend we went to the fair, right?
Right.
And I have my dot card in my pocket. So that way, if anybody, because we talked to a lot of people and I actually gave some cards out and stuff like that. But going in, I had to take that dot card out of my pocket to be able to get through the metal detectors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because of the RFID chip and all that that's inside the card. It sets it up, because I walked through a couple times. I'm like, oh crap, you know what? I do have in my side pocket, I had my card, and I pulled it out and dropped it and walked back out, walked back in, and I walked back in fine.
Wow.
So so there's the bad side of it. You can be tracked, right? And now all of a sudden all your equipment and even your earbuds give off a detectable signal, right?
Correct.
But if someone's lost, someone goes missing, right? If they have a phone or they have a watch and they're part of your network, you can find them where they're at.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we should all give each other little necklaces with our little
RFID
thing, so people can always, just in case. Right. I bet the military eventually goes to that.
Oh, yeah.
A dog tag that's got a traceable piece in there. So that way we'll never have they've gone missing type of thing.
Exactly.
So I'm going to jump down this one. The end of the Zoom boom, baby.
Yeah, man.
They're getting ready to get rid of a bunch of people.
They have to. I mean,
they staffed up so fast during COVID. I mean, it was just unheard of how many people they did. Were
but you know what the problem is? They're hiring all these people, but they're not changing the efficiency. They didn't reinvest this money back into the company to make it more efficient,
right?
Or plan for the long haul. What happens if we don't have? Can we still run the company at 5 people? Kind of like Twitter here.
Right.
Okay. Can we still run the company and not have so much server bandwidth and stuff like that? Can we change the way we stream to make it more efficient so we can reduce the amount of computers and hardware we have, or invest it in better hardware so that way when the downtime comes, then you only need one machine to do the work of 30.
Right.
So you could save money in the long run. And it looks like that's not what happened. These companies, they go out and they spend all this money on labor.
Yeah.
And then they making these redundant, well, this is the group that, monitors just this one signal, and this group monitors this other signal. And if this one crashes, this one has to report to this one to tell this one to do this one.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. Now they just, their output is going, and here you go. Classic. They spent all their money.
Yep.
And there's nothing to support it. I mean, it was great, but people can move around now. And not a lot of people are working from home anymore.
Mm-mm.
And, those meetings don't need to be hours long.
Nope.
And you're offering how long? 30 minutes?
40 minutes.
40 minutes?
40 minutes.
40 minutes?
For free.
For
Right.
free. You can't sustain. I can get a meeting over in 30 minits.
If I have to, absolutely.
I can get.
I know
do
I'm time constrained.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And people will, what 90 seconds to speak, You get your commercial out in 30 seconds. Can you get a commercial out and explain who you are, what you do?
Right.
You know what I mean? You give me 5 minutes. We could have a great conversation and get the basic of our information of our companies down.
Yep.
Have a quick meeting. See you at lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
And with no Zoom.
And the problem is, and so because they didn't invest in making their product a better product, which they've never done.
Right.
It's still laggy. It's still hackable. It's still only 1280 by 720, blah, blah, blah. Microsoft has, Teams.
Yeah, Teams is really
good, and you can go high fulls. I mean, you can do
Teams integrates with your phone system, voice over IP. You can pull up your customers right through it. So yeah, I think they've been left in the dust, and it's going to be a big issue. You're going to probably see Zoom end, and everybody's going to be using Teams. Then Microsoft's going to get all.
Well, there's another one too that they were talking about. That's something else that's in there. I'm not sure what it was. I read the name. I'm like, no, I wouldn't. I won't think I would ever use that. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We've used Zoom forever.
Right.
We used Zoom before the pandemic. We knew about it. It wasn't something new to us. We used it as a tool. I tried to get away with using the free version. So if I can keep each interview under 30 minutes, right, or 20 minutes, then all I have to do is start a new one. Then we have 3 machines, and we just roll the next person in. So that way I'm not having to pay for you want an unlimited time? No, I don't. Right. After this month, I'll never pay for it again because I'll just keep everybody at a certain length.
Right, and the nice thing about being able to, you pay for 1 month and then you can cancel, and which made it easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But they need a subscription base that makes sense. First off, and sometimes it's not about.
I'm watching our time over
making,
there.
Getting, $30 a month versus can I get $3 a month?
Right.
Over 12 months.
Yeah, then they came out with, you buy the master plan and you can update so many machines. Well, that never worked.
Right.
Every time we logged into another machine, it kicked the other machine out.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So it's stupid. So did you know they found a new Earth-sized exoplanet detected in the solar neighborhood, baby?
Well, yes. That's where 8,000 humans are going to be transported to on March 23rd, I think it was.
24th.
24th, 2023.
Yeah.
It's Project Bluebeam is what
Something
they call
like that.
Yeah.
So some weird.
So we're going to lose about 8,000 people, and they're going to be living on this exoplanet. So it's all coming together, folks.
I think they should take 8 million. I'm just saying,
it's funny how they keep finding these exoplanets, these Earth-sized, and some of them in like habitable zones.
Yep.
Goldilocks zone. Yeah, I found another one that's by a red dwarf.
Right.
That's like a lot closer than we are to it. But its sun is not putting out the intense energy that ours does.
Right.
So that it can be closer. Mm-hmm. So it's still a zone that is capable of supporting life.
Well, we can't be sit there. I love it. This word's not been used until the last few years. It's hubris of us to think that we're the only people.
Oh yeah,
the only intelligent people in the universe,
or life forms, for that matter.
And on the flat planet, if you're a flat earther.
Oh my gosh, that just drives me
earthers
insane.
Are just
there's not enough information out there to tell us that we're not flat, John.
Well, I tell you what now. So I watch them just because I think it's kind of funny, and it's a waste of my time. But I just still watch it because I really, man, they're throwing math equations, and it's like, holy shit. I mean, you guys have put a lot of work into this, but it doesn't make sense. I've been high enough. You can see the curvature.
Yeah, you know what it is when it cuts off there. That's what they can see and perceive. That's it.
Right.
So I can only see a 2 mile radius around me. I am it.
Right. So if we're on a round ball, why isn't all of our surfaces curved?
We don't know. That's what it is. That's
what they're saying. They're saying, well, if we live on a round ball, why is there flat surfaces? Because there should never be a flat surface.
Yeah.
Everything should be a gradual.
Why is my kitchen counter so perfectly flat?
Right. That doesn't. Yeah. Well,
I mean, they don't realize how big that curve is.
I know. I've been out in the desert, and even then, it's fun.
Jeez.
So the big topic of the day. Here we go. They have shot down 4 unknown. Well,
we know of one known,
and it was a balloon, right?
Yeah.
But the other 2 now, or 2,
or three items.
3,
yeah.
They don't know what they were.
Well, the one that bothers me is the octagon thing.
Are we just shoot happy now? Some poor dude's going to go up in his hot air balloon to propose to his future wife while the guy's going, and they're going to shoot it down.
Of course.
Oh my God!
You're supposed to contact the FAA before making a flight plan.
Oh Jesus Christ, dude! It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I know Rob's got one.
I
got this is the image I got.
Dude, I want to see what the because they said it was an octagon.
Yeah.
And I want to so bad. I want to see it. And you know what? You know what I'm thinking? You're gonna see like an Amazon drone. It got away, and they said it was strings hanging from it. And I swear to God, it was probably delivering a package, and the package was really heavy. It was on full speed, and then when they dropped it in the person's yard, the damn thing just shot up into the sky really high, and then the military drove by and said, "Oh shit, shoot it!"
I think I can get this picture on my side, and so we can actually Rob can show a wide version of this right here. So this is what they're saying. Let me get this. There's a little prep I got to do every time I do this. So this is what they said that one looked like.
What?
Yeah. It was like a Tic Tac. But, to me, I'm like, I think these are just these are like, oh, this is what it counts. So this is a rendered in dish. This is not the actual picture.
Right.
But, it gets into the Tic Tac world. But
looks like a Tic Tac.
Oh, my God, dude. It's like, oh, look, Rob's got it. See, Rob's a man.
It looks like a balloon that was just got stretched out. A weather balloon that kind of like hit that one area in the atmosphere that it just got to start spreading itself out this way.
Have we become, because there's if you watch there's a video around on Facebook and then TikTok and then Twitter that there's these 5 predictions of all this stuff that's going to happen in 2023. We're supposed to be visited by the first alien spaceship or whatever it is. Name? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. John.
Ron something. I don't know.
But it's like, okay, are they prepping us? Or have they just become, because they got their asses handed to them because the balloon made it all the way across the U.S. Right.
I think that's what it is.
So now they're like, oh, we're just gonna shoot everything.
Well, you know
down.
what? They probably looked for that particular signature before. They probably weren't paying attention to it because it's like weather balloon. Okay, weather balloon probably puts off a certain radar signal.
Right.
That the military has gotten to the point where they've just brush it aside.
Caltech launched a weather balloon. It just got too
We're
high.
Not gonna bother. We're not gonna bother with that. Now they're like they said it too. They've turned their attention to these anomalies on their radars. They're going to look at everything, which is going to be crazy because they're going to see a lot of everything.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen. And I bet you there's going to be more airspace restrictions coming down the pipe. Here we go. February 1st, Chinese balloon seen over Montana.
Then it was over South Carolina coast. February 9th, first UFO detected off Alaska coast. Now they're calling it UFO. I love it. UFO. And then February 10th, UFO shot down over Dead Horse, Alaska. February 11th, second UFO was shot down over Mayo, Yukon, Canada. And the FAA shuts down Montana airspace, citing possible UFO from NORAD. And then, holy crap! And now we're gonna
Lake Huron was the last one. That was Sunday.
Okay, Sunday. So we're gonna go into some serious depth on this tomorrow night on NerdQuest, because it's actually a very big thing. I think it's going on, but to me it's like.
And you see how China jumped on that bandwagon?
Oh yeah, and now China's got one.
They're like
they shot one.
They're
down.
like, oh, there's something in our space, and then all of a sudden they threw out that the U.S. has put 10 balloons over their airspace in the past, just out of the blue randomly. Like, come on, that communist country would have shot those down.
Right.
They would have made a big deal about it long time ago.
Yep.
So. No, you can't just say, you already admitted to it. Oh, and don't forget, there was balloons down in Colombia and everywhere else.
Oh yeah, South America
and everything,
right.
Central and South America, floating around down there. So they probably had this surveillance program going for a long time.
Right.
As far as what the military recently saw, that could be, private sector working on projects that, or coming up with devices that, that are able and capable of, going that high.
Right.
And sustaining themselves in the air, something that nobody else saw because it is private sector.
Yeah, private sector, right.
So,
somebody could be, now see, here's the thing. So people could be trying to fix their own stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then they're testing it out over the Alaska and the Aleutians and stuff like that. So, like that up Siberia and the North Pole, because there's just less people, right? So if something catastrophically goes wrong, then you got a place for it to go wrong at without potentially killing anybody or hurting anybody, right? I mean, to me, that would make sense. But I'm pretty sure you're supposed to file an FAA or something with somebody saying, hey, by the way.
But again, if you get this particular signature right and know what it is and send up something that is a certain size and with certain capabilities, then you're not going to get, they're just going to ignore it.
Right.
But they're not going to ignore it today.
No, now it's like everything in its brother. If it potentially looks like they're going to shoot it.
So if you jump in your ultralight and decide to just randomly shoot up in the sky,
hey guys, I'm gonna.
And the military pulls up alongside of you. You better hope to God you got a ham radio on you and able to talk to them.
Don't shoot me down! Don't shoot me down, man!
I'm sure they're not going to call you on your cell phone because.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
What you doing over there, buddy?
I was just flying and having fun.
And not for nothing though, but yes, we could.
But you're not going to be ultralight. Will not be at 1400.
No. Well,
14,000 feet.
Well, somebody.
Yeah, I'm masking it up.
You got their CPAP. They got the CPAP on.
CPAP, you freezing to death. Oh my god, it's so cold.
No, but just think about it though too. They could be probes from another alien civilization, from another
Don't probe
planet.
Me, man. Don't probe me, man.
Not probe. I think like we're doing it.
Oh yeah,
we're doing it.
Yeah.
What if what's good for the goose is good for the gander? And we're flying devices might not be. The aliens could be say, why are they using such a rudimentary?
Right.
But we're flying something there.
That's right.
In Mars, it's no different. If somebody light years away was able to send something here, why not send out probes? And those probes. I've been watching us for quite some time. So, like
one of the predictions in that 5 things that are going to happen, I think it's 2025. We find human remains on Mars. Well, yeah, because that's the first people went there and they died.
Yeah, right.
Of course, you're going to find remains.
You're right.
I'm just saying. I hope not.
Don't we have technology strong enough to be able to at least see through the first, 6 or 7 feet into the Martian surface and be able to scan the whole planet by now?
Well, we should.
Or maybe we already have and already know something, and that's why they had to open up the UFO files.
You tell me the government's hiding something from us? No.
Well, they can't spook us. They got to be careful. Because you know how hard it would be able to control the population that's spooked, knowing that their imminent demise could be at hand.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Governments would not be able to handle it.
Nope.
It would be a hot mess. And there's probably information out there that they're not sharing, and so be it.
Right. It's like, I hate to go into this because we only got a minute and something left so on HBO, the show The Last of Us, I love that premise because it's like in the very beginning it starts off 2 degrees.
Right.
2 degrees is all it takes to warm this planet up to enough where fungus can become what kills us all.
Oh yeah.
2 degrees. Just 2 degrees. And then it morphs. And that's what the whole premise of all of us
they were
is.
just talking about that. The
Right?
zombie.
So are movies prepping us
No,
for the future?
no, somebody's been reading the scientific journal of medicine and
That's what I'm
prepping
saying.
us.
So we're watching these movies. So when this crap happens,
That's because it's in your head already. It's like,
Right.
it's
Oh, well, that's just this.
no
It's
big
okay.
deal. Zombies are okay. Remember whenever all those meth heads were going crazy in the zombie thing?
Yes.
But we were already watching zombie stuff.
Yep.
We at first everybody got nervous, but it's
Yep.
like it's second nature now.
Yeah.
Shoot
him in the head. We all know shoot him in the head.
Shoot him in the head.
Shoot
It's
him in the head,
okay.
everything dies. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. I hope this style is not upsetting everybody because I've had a couple of people go, I don't like that. I'll just go back to the old way. But I like this because personally, I think it's better.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So if you want us to talk about something, Tech Shamans at area52tv.com or go to our Facebook Messenger and message us there because we will be glad to talk about stuff, review stuff, the whole 9 yards because that's what we do is we just kind of try to tear things apart and just sit there and talk about what's going on in the tech world. Anyway, have a techie week. We will see everybody next week on Monday. Bye.